with disharmony.
Sometimes I forget why we're still friends.
Alright. Good afternoon, Twitch. My name's Alaway and welcome back to more ESO. Apologize for the interruption. You know, streaming is not the type of thing you would tell somebody who can't really, whatchamacallit. I don't think there is,
If you think you saw an Arthurus eat a potato, I can't do anything without proof.
Thank you, Trethane. I won't have my good name sullied by this fanatic.
A year ago, we'd have buried him up to his neck for...
Could use a little bit of help this world, boss. Kinda hurts.
Enough! I've given my ruling. Now both of you, please get on with your lives. I don't want to hear any more of this. Yes? How can I help you?
Plus, here's the quest that I was doing for the Thieves Guild for this area.
what quest? Can you actually share? I don't think you can.
I just clicked share. You get it?
Share it again.
They're sharing quests with your group.
Yeah, I didn't get a prompt for it, so I don't think I can.
Says I can share though. That's weird.
Well, you would be able to if you were on the same step. Anyway, so what do you need?
The world boss hurt a lot.
It's a DLC world boss. It wasn't meant to be easy. Hold on, let me speak to this eminence and then I'll be back. Is that neat? Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to witness that. I knew Cormount's citizens were zealous about the Green Pact, but sometimes they go hunting for trouble.
The Vine Dusk Rangers told me to speak with you.
Yes, Farina said I'm to support you in tracking down Gelthiel's sons. We'll start with Lorchon, the Black Sap spy master. If we capture him first, his brother Goronir will be without eyes. And before you ask, I lost it in the war.
Well, what do you have for me?
The Black Sap rebellion started here. It won't surprise you to learn Cormount's citizens provide food and gold to the remnants. They use special phrases to arrange meetings. If you know the phrases, you can get to the remnants.
What are the phrases?
The phrases change weekly. Definitely the work of Lorchon. Lucky for you, I've done the scut work. You'll find this week's phrases in the journal next to me. I leave it to you to work out which ones to use.
What if I use the wrong phrase?
The Black Sap protects its own. I can't imagine they'll be happy. You'll see a list of known sympathizers in the journal. Approach them and use the right phrase to set up a meeting with Lorchon. Find me when you're done.
Right.
Everything should be in the journal. Be careful. Cormount has been crawling with Black Sap.
Well, I'm not going to remember any of that. This should be interesting. Alright, let's see how this plays out.
Everything you see comes from something I killed myself. In Cormount, we use what we hunt.
The foul and nesty peeper swims at night.
That's strange. I haven't seen
I managed to kill the boss.
in quite some time.
It hurts.
Cloudless skies scare the peepers away.
Imposter.
Wait, how the hell?
if I was of some assistance.
What just happened? Okay.
I've heard tales of your valor at Esduin. Bravely done. I suppose you don't have any jugger, do you? So delicious. If I could, I'd drink it straight from the pig.
The fallen SD peeper swims at night.
That's strange. I haven't seen a peeper around here in quite some time.
Rainy skies bring all the peepers out.
That's true. Say, do you know why the peeper's skin is red?
Fuck, I'm pretty sure this is it. Once green, it broke the green pact. Ifrit's anger turned it red.
You aren't one of us.
Fuck.
Come on, and filth!
What is it? This is the inn, right? Hmm.
The black sap light the blue flame today. It's quite glorious, isn't it?
Yes, it means good things are coming.
Hush up. We're being watched.
I guess that's the only flame I see. Wonder how many times I have. I guess I only have 5 tries to get it right.
My husband spends so much time with his books. That's strange. I haven't seen a peeper around here in quite some time. That's true. Say, do you know why the peeper's skin is red?
Once blue, it was forced to eat its own family. Its body is bathed in their blood.
You're a new face. What do you want?
I want to meet with Lorcan.
Head to the butcher's ground. He'll be there when he's ready. We won't speak again.
Yeah, I can't. This. Well, it's certainly not cloudless. That's for damn sure.
Have you secured a meeting with Lorcan?
I'm supposed to meet him at the butcher's ground.
Of course. It's where General Andare cut down most of their forces.
What happened at the battle?
The Jade Dragoons struck at night, from all directions. The Black Sap never stood a chance. They tried to surrender, but General Andare had ordered her soldiers to cleanse the area. Seems the Jade Dragoons always follow orders.
Why would Lorcan want to meet at the site of a massacre?
No good reason, I'm sure of it. But we don't have a choice. If Lorcan shows up, you'll need to capture him.
How can I do that?
Here. These were Galthior's rings. His sons will recognize them immediately. As soon as Lorcan puts it on, he'll be transported to the hidden prison. One of Farina's more devious enchantments.
Farina, the master of portals?
He's still calling himself that? The boy needs a hobby. He once proposed we use his portals to send the contents of our latrine into a black sap camp. The perfect distraction, he said. We called him the Master of Privies for a month.
Is there anything else I need to know about Lorcan?
We need Lorcan and his brother. See if you can get him to talk about where Goronir is hiding. You have a ring for each brother. Once you've captured them both, Farina will find you. And if we don't meet again, it's been an honor. Now back to my mind-numbing duties. Good luck out there.
Well... Ah. This is in... See, I knew you were gonna end up getting dragged to this point of view one way or another.
I see my black sap are no match for you.
Certainly couldn't keep up.
Every night since the massacre, I've dreamt of the horrors the Jade Butcher brought to Cormount. It seems fitting to meet the one who brought her to justice on the very spot she slew the black sap. I wonder, will I have nightmares of you?
I'm here to bring you to justice.
Are you? I admit, I'm not one for direct confrontation. That's more Gorinir's style. I've long preferred to fade into the background, which I'll do unless you have anything of value to say.
Father's still alive. Here, take his ring.
Alive? He's been missing for the better part of the year. Everyone thought him dead. I've long suspected he lives and have an inkling of who holds him. Tell me the name of his jailer, and I'll know if you speak the truth.
Maroth. He's the Vine Dusk Ranger who holds your father.
I see. Very well, I wish to turn myself in. Take me to my father. If he's alive, I must speak with him.
Why the change of heart?
The Black Sap Rebellion needed my family to begin, and now it lives in the heart of the people. It will flourish in time. But I'd rather be at my father's side when it happens. I did surrender, yes? Shall we be off?
First, tell me where to find Gorinir.
My brother is in a cave on the other side of Cormount. Good luck reaching him. He has many soldiers at his command, and he's not much for talking before acting. And you should hurry before he sets his plan in motion.
You know, for a spy master, he is spewing a lot. Plan? What plan?
As I said, he's not much for talking. Sometimes not even to me. I do know how much he loathes the Jade Butcher, and that he wants to repay the Dominion in kind. I told you where to find Gorinir. Now take me to my father.
Put on the ring.
To identify me as your prisoner, so the Vine Dusk don't kill me on sight? Very well. I'm ready to go when you are. How unexpected.
Now, pull him through.
Man, why can't my this is the most childish reaction I can think of, but I want my Dragonite chains to be blue now.
Split up.
You know, there's something I just really want to check out, and I know darn well that it ain't gonna go over well, but... Wait. Isabel's indifferent to the Blade of Woe? You're mute, Minecraft.
Isabel just saw me kill and she didn't like it.
Did she kill an innocent?
I killed something.
That's the end of that tale.
I killed a bunch of, I just killed like 2 hostiles and she didn't say anything. Yeah, she's for me, she's indifferent. So the next thing I'm gonna try is to do it on someone innocent. Of course, I find a target that I can't kill. I wonder if it's... Maybe it's because you got caught?
I didn't get caught, I have no bounty.
This is not the end of our tale.
Yeah, it's innocent people. So she doesn't care if you use it for on the battlefield, but she'll care if you use it to just like to kill people who don't need or who are innocent. Good to know.
What new tale will we tell?
Wonder how far that brought me down.
How can I help?
I mean, if it did, it wasn't that costly. Yeah, so you can use it when you're exploring. You cannot use it to kill just for the sake of killing.
Amber's the only one that's okay with murder.
Ember doesn't care what you do, just don't get caught.
Ready to ride.
Which reminds me, I still gotta grind the dailies to finish up Isabel's quest. Cause you gotta... How many parts was in Isabel's quest? Like 3? And I know I've only done like 2.
I don't remember, I just know there's a lot. Why does a mannequin have health bar?
I don't think it's a mannequin.
Good quality there.
Oh yeah, she don't care if I use it against hostiles. She just cares if I use it on innocents. Sweet. makes adventuring just a little bit easier. Well, not necessarily easier, but quicker. I also am... I don't know how I feel about the animation, but... It's occurred to me, does what is it? What was I thinking? What the hell am I...
Stand down! If the intruder made it here, you'll be just another notch on the scabbard!
Well, there's somebody who cares about his troops.
Are you with the Vine Dusk Rangers? The Justiciars? The Fighters Guild? It doesn't matter. I know why you're here.
I'm here to bring you to justice.
Justice? Queen Irene invaded our land and killed our people. All in the name of the false king Camoran Eredon. The only justice is in the soil, where her Jade Butcher slaughtered our people. And now, that very soil will rise up to take back what is rightfully ours.
What are you talking about?
Our constructs already rise to take back Cormount. Those who follow the Green Pact will see the forest rise against the Dominion invaders, fitting revenge for the Jade Butcher's work.
Why are you doing this?
Ifray's children loathe the outsiders who pick away at the green. Until the Black Saps sit on the throne in Eldenroot, Grantwood itself will rise against the invaders. They weep for Gelthior. The death of my father drove them to this.
This is where we could just tell him he's alive, but... Tell me how to stop the constructs.
You can't stop anything. It has already begun. The Dominion camps will know the pain and fear General Andare brought us one long bloody year ago.
Alaway special visitor coming to the party.
I hope to end the Jade Butcher myself, to honor the memory of my father.
Your father still lives. I can bring you to him.
Lies! Our best sorcerers spent a year searching for any sign of him. But there's no trace. My father is dead.
If that were true, how could I have this ring? Here, take it.
It's my father's ring.
What is good, my people?
When I was a child.
One moment, please.
Box my ears. This proves nothing. Only that you may have slain my father before you came for me.
If you put on the ring, I can lead you to him. Also, your brother.
You have Lorchan as well? It doesn't matter. The Dominion camps will fall to our constructs, and the people will rise behind the Black Sap. I won't listen to your lies about my family.
Unless you put on that ring, you'll never know if I'm lying.
All right. Lead me to my father. A trick!
Alright, now that's all said and done. Okay, what's up, Nat? I'm sorry for being a little rude. I'm on camera and I was not expecting anybody else to join the party.
You're streaming?
Yeah.
I see.
Figure get back into the swing of things. The next DLC for this game's coming out, and I was, let's say, impulsive enough to buy the DLC. Even if, for all we know, it's gonna be another broken, bloody mess that is, broken and glitchy mess, excuse me. But unlike Fallout 76, ESO has yet to screw up our gear, so...
in killing, but I'm glad we're alive and they're
But no.
not.
Anywho, so what brings you here, Nat? You having a good time?
Nah, that's all you want. Seeing what you doing. You know, checking in on the homies, the hombres.
Man, I really need to have more friends that are like that, because I don't. Because I think you're the only one who does that.
That checking.
Yeah.
To see if you're alive, to see if you're breathing.
Yeah. But how are things with you? I know yesterday we didn't really get a chance to talk. You went mute like 5 minutes into the party. I went off. Last I saw you were playing Call of Duty again, which couldn't have.
My bad about that. I play with my friend. Like he also streams, and we. More of the like battle royale type shit. So.
Yeah, I myself, we used to play battle royale games, but if anyone knows from my Siege streams, I have horrible situational awareness.
Nah, Siege no battle royale. Siege is just. To me, I played Siege when it came out. Played it a lot. Got bored. Now it's a game I only ever touch once in like
a blue moon.
20 blue moons. Nah, 20 blue moons.
Yeah, I get that. I know the feeling. It's like every once in a while, and when I actually have a group to play with, I'll play. But I also want like I only play with like a particular group of people. I cannot play. I cannot play Siege with the type of people who will basically talk your ears off while you're happening, because my hearing is already shot, and I'm not really good with the 3D audio on my mic, so like.
Oh, bro, all you gotta do is shoot your ear, bro. That's it.
Say again?
You said your ear is shot, like, you know, take the bullet out, and you'd be fine.
I wish it were that easy. Too many years of just listening to headphones and not, and underestimating the audio, the headphone user beware warning in the description of videos.
The Black Sap are finished. We're at the West Bridge. Come, join us.
Gotcha, someone broke they broke your ears. I gotcha.
Yeah. Also, my frickin' co-workers used to listen to loud as fuck music on the job site. Makes me wish I never lost my my earplugs.
Our hero returns. For Rhino, open a portal.
You ever think they listen to super loud music because they're deaf, so they can only hear that? If it's
probably. Yeah. They probably do. You know what, Minecraft, you still need help with that world boss?
I finished that long ago.
Do you want to help me with the world bosses over here? Because I don't recall actually doing them on this character. Well, I've done 3 of them, presumably on air, because there's 3 skulls on my map. With people I can talk to, I'd rather not. I'll do the delves. Delves usually have a quest though.
So are you still doing Ark, or are you done with that since you got the potion game now?
Well, funny enough, I finished up the story in the potion game. I'm gonna go find a. I'm just gonna go do some.
I'm right now in a.
I'm gonna do delves so while I'm here to talk with people. But yeah, no, I finished the storyline wise. I finished most of the story in the potion game. The only thing I have left is like little individual character quests, just to see their backstories and to learn more about them, and then it's just grinding away to hit some of the trophies for the platinum. So storyline wise, I'm done. It was a pretty short game. It's still a fun game, but it was pretty short. And Viper started a Lost Ark server, right? He says what he was telling us.
Which one is that?
Lost Ark, I think, is like the most recent.
Lost Island, it's like one of the newer thingy-majiggies.
But it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like similar to Rag type of thing. Free, ow.
Free pain?
I stepped on a trap and got skewered. Mid-sentence.
Okay.
Ow, why does this place have so many traps? There wasn't some of this many traps on the way in. Ow.
Hey, over here. Stand against us.
There was not this many traps on the way in. Ow.
Sounds like you stepped on another one. But yeah, so there we do have another Ark map to start from scratch on. It's just I'm debating if I want to go back, because you know how Ark will just eat up all your time.
We're trying to let ESO eat up all our time.
True. Especially since the ESO is dropping, the DLC for ESO is dropping,
Well, next week?
I think next week, yeah. In like 5 days or so. So I'm gonna do a first look stream of the area, and then and maybe do a first look stream of the character it's gonna be dropping with it, because they're adding a new class to ESO, which hasn't happened since they released the Necromancer and the Warden, which I don't remember. I don't even know when that happened. So there's definitely a cause to try to figure out what I do and do not want to juggle with. That, and the hope is I'll be going back to work before the month ends, you know, so... Well, not before the month ends, but before, like, too long into the next month.
Too long into the next month.
Because my final appointment should be, if all goes well, my final appointment will be near the end of this month. And unless they tell me something else is killing me slowly, I should be fine to go back to work. There's a lore book here. But aside from that, it's just in the meantime I'm here, I'm streaming, trying to mostly just treating it like I'm just playing normally. It's all, and just hanging out with friends, or trying to hang out with friends. The only person online, or the only two people online who regularly jump into the party these days is Minecraft and you. And Viper, I have no idea what happened to Viper. Stayed up late again, probably.
Do all these sticking personal matters people are giving me notes for getting this Thieves Guild Guild XP?
What personal matters?
Like,
oh, like as you rank up, you get little side quests tied to like the characters. I believe so. I mean, either way, I think it's tied to a trophy to help them all out anyway. I mean, I know there's a reason why I'm like level 9 Thieves Guild and only level 4 Dark Brotherhood. And that was because
you're doing more Thieves Guild than Dark Brotherhood.
Well, that, and I grind, and Thieves Guild was a lot. Well, I grinded Thieves Guild first, and then I went to Dark Brotherhood, and I'm like, wow, Dark Brotherhood is so much harder to fucking grind.
All it is just shank someone.
Yeah, but they don't give you enough people to shank is the problem.
And find more people.
Also, I don't think just freely shanking people give you Dark Brotherhood XP.
It should.
Like, it doesn't. I'm telling you, I used to just go around killing people all around Stonefalls while I robbed the place blind. And
it's a trophy for mass murder.
I'm pretty sure I got it.
I know, because I got that achievement too.
Well, if this doesn't cause our FBI agent to think that we should be taken in for a possible mental evaluation.
What's mental health?
No idea. All I know is that mine is definitely not good.
I don't even know where mine stands. Yay! I got clemency.
Congratulations. You get to use that once a day.
I use on my big bounties. When I get to 3,000.
Also, Ember likes it when you use the clemency.
That's anything B-skill related, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
I should really go to Snowfalls and start pickpocketing for this side quest.
Alright, that thing is done. Explore that cave, on to the next one. Yeah. So so Twitch, this is basically how I usually spend my day when I'm not streaming, is I'm sitting here, I'm playing games, friends come and go, you try to have a conversation, but eventually it just either it goes off topic, or
it dies out.
It dies out, yep. I should really figure out how to stream from my PC. I've tried it once, it didn't work out well.
How badly did it go?
You literally could not hear anything. It was just like everything was quiet and I couldn't understand why, and then I gave up.
How did you try doing it?
I had one of the back in the old-fashioned days when streaming wasn't a thing. It was more, well, actually, back before consoles had built-in streaming gear, and it was all and people had to like have special capture cards to actually record their gameplay, or specialized software in their computers. I bought one of those cards. I had a whole setup. That's how this channel started. And in those days, the quality wasn't as great. I tried my best, but had a really shitty mic, and still have said shitty mic. I mean, I took a chance on it, and it's not a bad one if I had like a boom arm to just keep the shit right in my face, but I underestimated how low the pickup on it was.
I hope I was of some assistance.
Anyway, I decided to dig the gear back out and hook it up to my computer, hook my laptop to my PC, because my laptop had the software for the hardware on it, but for whatever reason I couldn't get the audio to go through.
Wait, so you never tried? Wait, have you tried using OBS or no?
I have Streamlabs downloaded on my PC. I've yet to actually try using it. I wouldn't mind though. At some point, I don't know, might stream something like, been wanting, at some point, Minecraft and I will stream, Halo, if I ever scrape the money by to buy him a PC. Or if he decides to work for his own. Yeah. Invested all this shit to see if we could take off on a streaming career, and clearly it's not working. But it's admittedly an oversaturated market, and I'm doing this very casually. I don't have the dedication to stick to a regular schedule anymore. Come to think of it, I don't have the dedication to stick to a lot of things these days. PT? Yeah, what a joke. Eating right? Pfft, it was never gonna start in the first place. I am committed to getting at least a W-2 before this year ends. But that's only because I want to retire, damn it.
So you won't get a W-2 this year?
Yeah. Because from what I understand, right, your Social Security is calculated based on
the W-2 form?
Like, yeah, the information from your W-2s. You need to have X amount of W-2s, and with the, I believe they take the gross from the W-2. believe they add them all up, and then they divide based on how many years or how many W-2s you're supposed to have, and then that's how they calculate how much you get in your no, they divide it by how many W-2s you're supposed to have times I believe times 12 for the months in the year, and then that's how they calculate the check you get from Social Security. But every year you don't have a W-2, they factor that number in as a 0 in the gross. So obviously I don't want that. And then of course there's the age requirement, which at the rate things are going, I strongly suspect Social Security will be gone by the time I'm ready to retire. At which point I'm gonna start raising hell.
So what, you gotta work on your fucking grandpa?
They told us this in school. For us going into the trades, we will be working until we're grandpas. And then we'll be working until we're dead grandpas. And I'm pretty damn sure they'll still be taxing us in the grave. And to keep politics out of the stream, I'm gonna make one thing clear and one thing very much clear. I don't care about politics. I care about the paycheck that I earned, and that I honestly feel like I should be able to choose what the hell I do with it. Damn it, I'm the one who fucking put my blood, spit, and tears into it.
True.
But on the promise that I will get my check back when I retire, I am calm. I should really be allowed to charge for government interest.
You've met your match.
How much interest though?
I don't fucking know. Oh, I don't know. What? How much does the bank charge you in interest for a loan?
I don't really know.
Okay, judging from the fact that there's another player here, that I'm pretty sure the darn final boss is in this room somewhere. And they killed it. So now I gotta, I'm guessing, wait for it to show up. Or I could keep going. But anyway, putting that aside, in the meantime, I'm just going to try to keep my sanity until that time comes.
And how well is that working out for you?
I don't know. Talk to my FBI agent. I'm sure it's got a full psychological profile in there somewhere.
Oh, full psyche debrief?
Oh yeah. He probably says the day he walks out of his house funny, put a bullet in him. There's a sniper probably posted somewhere in my neighborhood waiting for me.
So every day you walk out, it's the day you pray. Nice.
No, what makes it... No, there's a reason why I don't leave my house. I sound like one of those old conspiracy theorists who think the freaking government's always watching them. Well, they were right,
hey,
damn it!
Yeah, because I was about to say, half the time that's true.
Yeah. How many of these so-called conspiracy theories turned out to be true?
Half, I think.
Enough. I don't know the exact number, but enough. What is this stream turning into?
Start talking about conspiracy theories, mate.
I wonder if we should start one of those podcast things. Just what a bunch of insane blue-collar gamers think when they're not at work.
Stop! Before you enter this village, a word with you.
That's a thought. That's something we could do.
Before you enter this village, a word with you.
But aside from that,
Before you enter this village, a word with you.
well, I got to complain about something. That's what do you want to complain about?
Alaway, I got a heist.
For what? Oh, the
board.
Thieves Guild. Oh, okay. Okay, shit. I don't know if I can join you at my current level in the Thieves Guild.
Before you enter this village, a word with you.
You want to try going in by yourself?
I don't know. I probably can, but do you want to try?
Try sharing it with me.
It says sharing.
I did not.
Caring.
I did not get the prompt to fucking accept it, so I gotta work up the same way you do. It's really easy. All you gotta do is be sneaky. You're timed, and you lose like a minute every time you get caught. But it's also it's mostly very easy to do quietly. And I think you get extra XP and rewards if you do it as many optionals as you can. Of course, you can run in guns blazing and kill everybody, and then take the shit. I mean, it ain't like the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. The Thieves Guild here don't give a shit if you kill your marks. Oh, important to note.
You're kidding me. Okay, fucking, it's kamikaze. Fucking stealth shanking decreases time.
Yes, it does. I was gonna say that. Makes you wonder what came first, the Dark Brotherhood or the Thieves Guild?
That is a really good question.
While we're talking about questions of note, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Both?
I'm seriously trying to understand who asked that question in the first place. But since this is turned into a podcast about random shit that's just popping into my head because I'm slowly going insane.
Well, if you really think about it, a chicken is a descendant of a dinosaur, and dinosaurs technically did come before chickens, so...
Well, I mean, I know that.
The egg would come first.
But how did that egg come then?
Damn, he got me too.
Looking first, the dinosaur or the egg? Ow, bear trap. Ow,
you know,
fly trap. Ow, another fire trap. Ow, why are there so many fire traps?
I suppose that's in those days, that's what mattered. They didn't have evolution and things to understand.
So you're saying you understand somebody's evolution?
Yeah, I understand evolution. That's why if in a serious debate, I would also say, yeah, it's the egg that came first, because
But
dinosaurs.
Then what laid the egg?
The dinosaurs.
Then now the dinosaur. Then what came first, the dinosaur or the egg?
Whatever the hell was the predecessor to the dinosaurs, what laid the egg that became the dinosaur.
So what came first there?
I don't fucking know. If what's to believe, we started from a pool of goo. Or if you want to believe Star Trek, the Omega molecule blew up. That's where we all came from. Ah, yes, let's, I suppose while we're talking about shit like this, the whole science versus religion, conundrum. I don't know. I mean, not really a fully... I'm not religious in the sense that I believe in a god. There was a term for it. I think it was agnostic.
Atheist?
Atheist is believing that, that there is no... that they don't believe in a religion, period. I believe... What does that say on my dog tags? Okay. Mine says none. Okay.
So you're none?
No. I believe this was something my father told me, and this was for like 1970s military. So I don't know if it's still gonna work today, but when you fill and this, I'm gonna tell you this, Nat, Minecraft. If any of you guys ever end up drafted, maybe it'll still work.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say drowning, but yeah, go on.
When you fill out your paperwork for your initial entry into the military, they're going to ask you what religion you, if you believe in a religion. That way, if you do die, the right priest can be called to give you the final rites of whatever belief you believe in. If your belief has a priest in it. If you don't have any particular preference, put no preference. Don't say none. Or don't say you're atheist. That way, when Sunday rolls around, you can get out of shit by saying, hey, I want to go visit that service and see what it's like.
So is that what you did?
I mean, I had, I'm not religious. The religion that my family believes in, if anything, comes from the old country. And heavily into the whole ancestor worship that is predominant in, that part of the world. But in the traditional sense, like Christianity, Satanism, and whatever other religions that are recognized by the military, no, they don't recognize that. So that's why I have none on my tags. I never used it as an excuse to frickin' leave anyway. I mean, like I said, I didn't get far enough to actually get a chance to try that. I visited a couple of Protestant services in my short time there, and I thought it wasn't a bad way to go if that was truly how it went. I mean, they actually had a bunch of musicians, actually, like military musicians. They put on they go into whatever the designated I want to say chapel house or whatever place they designated as this is where they hold religious services, and they played religious music that had religious connotations. I don't know if that's the Protestant way, but it wasn't a bad way to go. I mean, I mean, all you expect to hear when you were where I was just a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, and a lot of suffering. You didn't, but, you know, it was pleasant. It was a way to break up the monotony once I got to a certain point. It's nothing I would prefer to broadcast to the air at the moment. Maybe if I do end up like popular and people want to ask about like, oh, how do I, if they actually care about my opinion enough to you know, like, how do I persevere in life? And I would say watch Married with Children. You think your life sucks? Look at that.
What you mean? That guy's life is great.
In the grand scheme of things, yes, it fucking was. Yeah, he might have wanted his wife to fucking leave, even though his wife never did. But, you know, in the grand, like, a lot of those old 60s and 70s shows, they were not afraid to say the most, they were not afraid to say things that in this day and age people don't even think about because it would be politically incorrect. But that's what makes them funny. Damn it, dark humor is the best humor.
Finally, someone gets...
Frickin', but frickin', I watched like a dozen or so, there's like, let's just say there's a lot of points in that show where they say something to predict the fucking future as a joke, or as like, and then later on it became a fucking social commentary. Like the whole, like for example, my favorite one, Social Security potentially ending sometime this century. Which the rate things are going, the frickin' age of retirement for my generation is 70, from what I was told by when I was in high school. And man, I am gonna be working until I'm a fucking grandpa. Yeah. Man, I need some divine intervention to help me. Help me win the lottery, or let me trip on some ancient treasure chest that finally got unearthed by the elements. Or I don't know, let me discover oil in my backyard and become a Beverly Hillbilly.
A Beverly Hillbilly?
Yes. Never watched the show, but I just in premise, I think sounds funny as hell. So. And the pilot episode was in black and white. Man.
You don't want to do this.
But at the time, what was I watching at the time? I was torn between Hogan's Heroes, MASH, F Troop. So yeah. Didn't get a chance to really try it. I mean, I watched a lot of pilot episodes of shit in those days, and I thought, hey, they're not bad. They require a lot more thinking on my part to understand the humor, and I thought back then I was mind fucked at the end of the day. But you know what? In hindsight, school was not bad. I'm sure Minecraft would disagree with me, but wait till you start working Minecraft. You're gonna wish you were still in school.
Simpler times.
Yeah, simpler times. You had no bills. Really no responsibilities if you were lucky. But of course, that's I'm sure someone out there is going to complain, oh, I didn't have that. Please stop talking about that. I had responsibilities as a kid.
Yep, but, you know, That's the thing. Everybody grew up differently, so no one's the
Yeah.
actual thing.
There is no there is no set.
Alaway.
What?
Mario gives a lot of bounty.
Well then, stay your blade. Stay your blade from the flesh of an innocent.
He got murder on his mind.
I say as though Minecraft was actually an assassin in the Assassin Brotherhood. And Minecraft has not played an Assassin's Creed game. He has rage quit every single Assassin's Creed game in the Ezio trilogy. I wonder if Minecraft could figure it out now that he's older.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know. Maybe we should go do some sort of podcast thing. I mean, it's working out great right now.
Oh, really? So you got people in the cast right now?
No. But I'm talking, and I'm certainly, clearly not the social type.
This man said, but I'm talking, alright.
It would suggest that I need to get out of the house more.
Does
but
being the social type really even matter?
I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, I was a bit more social, a bit more willing to go out and leave the house. I would realize just how expensive it is to leave the house. There is a somewhat of it's a hell of a lot cheaper, I think, to stay at home and play video games than to go out every other weekend and hit up a new restaurant or do or go out and, you know, all these social places, because what could you honestly do that doesn't involve spending money when you're trying to hang out with friends and catch up?
Go to the park. Go outside and you talk. That's it.
Fair. But in this
And you don't drive, don't do anything, you walk and yeah, meet the fuck up. That'll be the only way.
That would be the only way. Now who among us is actually gonna do that?
No one.
Huh?
I swear to God, if this was like a sitcom, Minecraft would always be the one that volunteers because you and I would be the only one paying attention enough to take one step backward. But I digress.
Alright, I need people to steal from. Guard.
Stealing from a guard.
It's not the worst thing he could think of.
What was?
Access! Run away!
Well, say again, Nat.
I said what was?
What, the worst thing I could think of?
No, the worst thing he thought of.
Greetings, Walker. Rabama.
There's enough video evidence on my channel to, I'll let you watch it and take a pick.
Pickpocket him, the shank. Run away!
It's funny. There's actually a lot of what few comments we get on our videos is always somebody saying that the banter between me and somebody else was funny as hell. Usually with Minecraft.
You and me, we got this.
I wonder if she could heal the bear. Am I glad that I expect Isabel to be a tank?
My wounds. I'm not sure I can keep going.
You're not dead yet, Knight. Or what the hell? What is it? What is it? What title do they give female knights in the Daggerfall Covenant? Dame. Dame, you're not dead yet, Dame. No, it sounds better if I just said, "You're not dead yet, Madam Knight." Nah. Damn it. How does Q make it sound so, well, Q just sounds like an ass whenever he says something. But
Q is Q.
do you know who Q is?
No, I do not.
Not a Star Trek fan, are you? You're not a Star Trek fan, are you?
Yo, wait, what? Me? Yo, bro, come on. You already know that I'm not one.
Oh.
Can't believe you asked me that, lad. And I can't believe you fell for that. Yeah, but my Star Trek's not really my forte.
Healed up and ready to fight.
You know, the only reason I haven't kept up with the modern Star Treks is that they're one, we don't have cable, and two, I'm too cheap to subscribe to any whatever the hell the streaming service is playing it.
This is the best point to steal. Why not steal from a couple of people drinking?
I really can do world bosses by myself if I have my companion running tank for me. Not that it's not really truly soloing a boss, but I killed the boss without the aid of another human being.
Well, that's still technically soloing. If you
Oh, what the hell am I walking for?
On the move.
I just realized that's a thing I do with a lot of games that I've streamed before. Like, I don't mind walking or running somewhere, even though there's a faster mode of transit available. Like, I used to, when I was playing GTA in the beginning, when you're playing as Franklin, still working for what's his name, instead of taking a car down to the dealership, I used to run there.
You ran all the way to the dealership on GTA to give Simeon a fucking... to start the mission.
Yes.
Are you bugging?
In those days, apparently I was.
Why would you do such a thing?
I don't know. Ask me why I run around a lot in Assassin's Creed when fast travel exists.
Assassin's Creed is different. Assassin's Creed that you're supposed to go and explore the world.
But then again, another thing, now that I'm older, when I play a game that has, like, fast travel, like...
You use it?
Yeah, I use it a lot. Like, for example, Horizon, you know, any campfire you can fast travel to, essentially.
Cause you're just up to that point where you're bored of fucking traveling, bored of exploring, so you choose to just...
Even though I will for one also be like, yo, this game looks pretty as fuck. But I don't spend the time admiring it as much as I should. Yo, but you played Horizon. Tell me that like when the sunrise is not like the most beautiful lighting effect you've ever seen in a game.
Bro, the shading is on point. I give you that.
Now I want to play Horizon. Have you played the second game yet?
You mean the thing that was on sale that I could have bought, but I chose not to? Because of reasons. Of technical difficulties. Yes, what about it?
So you have not played it?
Nope.
Damn it.
5,000 gold bounty!
You know, ever since I finished the damn game, and still, like, I want to talk about it with some... Damn it, the story... There are just some points in the story I want to just, like, completely dish about, but... They happen pretty late, so it's, like, major spoiler territory. Like, in front of Minecraft, I don't mind talking about it so much, because half the time he's not paying attention. And if he is, he'll forget about it by the time, if he ever plays it. My point exactly. But damn if I don't want to talk to somebody who actually can, like, appreciate it. Feel it's, or had maybe an emotional reaction to something that I might not have.
Well, you want someone to freak out and be like, oh my god! Is that what you want?
Yes! Makes me think I should go to an anime convention. But
you mean Comic-Con? Or
maybe a convention in general, but
good luck with them. Yo, good luck with them tickets, babe.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just too cheap for that shit.
Aren't we all?
At this point, I'm not man, I don't think it's on sale. It's the last day. I haven't figured out if I want to pick up the Dead Space remake yet.
Bro, still, come on. I thought you were, like, drooling over that.
Bro, there's a fuckload of games that I want to buy, stemming back to when, like, I was still employed. And since I lost the job, or rather, since I left that job. Left the job, lost the job. Either way, L on the job. I'm like, I gotta stretch what I have, and to frickin' just in case something frickin' happens. And it's making me weary about the amount of money I'm spending. And I've always been sort of minimalistic in the way I spend money anyway.
Bro, I'm minimalistic too until it says a nice sale came on, and I'm like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Oh yeah, no, like back when I was employed, man, I would like Thanksgiving and Christmas. I spent like I wasn't making much. I was like on closer to minimum wage, but I would spend like 2 paychecks between like Thanksgiving and Christmas on sales that happen.
Like completely waste?
That's up to you. Like they'll be like, I'll buy like platinum for platinum for what the fuck game takes platinum?
Warframe.
Warframe.
Yeah, I'll spend platinum for Warframe. Back when we used to play Star Trek Online, I used to get Zen for that too. I got fucking. I would buy like Killing Floor DLCs. I'd buy fucking. I'm pretty sure I bought my Rainbow Six credits on a Christmas sale at some point. And I used to buy crowns for this game. I always buy my virtual currencies at a discount. It's not, even though in the grand scheme of things, I'm trading money I could use almost anywhere in real life for money I can only use in-game. Somewhere out there, somebody who's like good, who's really good at like pinching money is like having a fucking coronary. But I don't do much. I do not spend my money on much else. The only hobby that I can honestly do without too much headache in this life right now is really video games. I want to go fishing, I gotta go get a permit. I want to go freaking go down to the range and try firing actual guns for a change. I gotta get out of this fucking state. Or drive upstate.
No, but you have to get out of the state. You heard?
I heard, but this is where, like, I don't want to talk about it because, politics, but we're in one of those states that heavily restricts firearms. Let's just leave it at that.
No, I know, no, I get that, but you know, it's still, you could still do it, isn't?
Yeah, but I also don't want to spend the money on gas and tolls and fucking time. There's also a part of me that thinks like there'd be, if they ever like lifted a bunch of restrictions on firearms, there would be like a serious bloodbath for like maybe a month while all the assholes and idiots kind of Darwined their way out of the gene pool, and then we'd have some peace.
Brother, we in America, bro. Like fucking, there's more guns than people.
Yeah. I'm aware. But, like everything else in America, we can agree there's a problem, we cannot agree on the solution. Sometimes we can't even agree on the damn problem. I dare somebody to disagree with that statement.
You can't do that because you can't actually disagree with that.
It's a beauty when you, it's a beauty trying to walk the middle of the line when it comes to politics. There was a time when compromise was considered a sign of strength. That was back when politics was like a great debate in a big hall and people stood up and talked to an entire room.
Yeah, but now you don't see that these days.
Yeah, no, because if you ever actually compromised, this is what I was told going back. Like, it's so polarized now. Like, if you compromise, it's gonna be looked at either as a sign of weakness by your enemies or a sign of betrayal by your so-called allies. And this was brought up in my history classes in school, so.
But it's not none of those, though.
Is it?
That's how we live. You find the compromise.
Yeah. Compromise is a hard thing to find, I suppose.
My notes. I can't
That's how it's always
believe it.
been.
I thought I'd lost these for good. You can't know what this means to me. This was my life's work. Everything I've learned in 20 years of studying Kwama. I thought I was going to have to give up, find something new. Thank you so much.
Alright, that's every delve done. I hit this boss, I've hit that boss. I'm pretty sure if it's marked I've approached it, and I'm pretty darn sure on this character I've killed it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I going insane or can I not count?
Both, maybe.
Yeah, because I know there's a delve on this list I haven't hit yet because I hit on another character, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere over here.
Alaway, guys are trying to kill me. I have 6,000 gold bounty.
Why so much?
Minecraft, all you need to do is plead temporary insanity.
Now these cards have such a freaking high goddamn visibility range. Jesus Christ.
They eat their carrots.
So it's not like Skyrim where the guards are just cute and cuddly. And they don't do shit.
Bro, the guards don't give a shit about you in Skyrim. They'll give a shit about anything else but you.
Yes, Ember, just keep your butt in front of the person's face, then try to pickpocket.
Wait, what?
Ember is literally standing right in front of the person trying to pickpocket.
Yeah, partner in crime. She distracts the guard while you pick his pocket. That sounds like something they would actually do. Okay, okay, I need to find, this place, Nisalis. That's... I just don't remember where the fuck it is. I'm gonna get this. I want to get the sky shard from that, but God knows if I actually know where the hell it is. Google. Why do I have 2 notifications?
Ember level for me shanking somebody.
Alright, so where the hell am I? And how the hell do I get there? Okay. I know not where I'm going. I'm just having some gameplay in the background while we talk about things.
Oh, Zally, you know something I saw on the internet? pictures of people with like millions of gold worth of bounties.
Makes you wonder what they did for that.
Ifra, the singer, the storyteller, who resides in the now.
I want to get that. I do want to get that. What is that? The achievement. It's a trophy in this game to have a guard repossess the clothes off your back.
So you
completely naked, wearing completely stolen gear. Guard steals, takes all the clothes, and you're just left naked.
Pretty much. Question is, does that also include your jewelry?
So you rob the guard and he robs you back?
No, basically you steal a bunch of armor. Presumably armor and maybe a weapon or something. If I were actually interested in doing it, or if I care enough to actually get it done, I would fill every single equipable slot with something, and then I would go do something stupid and get caught, and then when I asked the guard to just pay the bounty, and instead of him taking me away, I would just
another find for your pack.
see where that goes. He should take all the clothes off my back because they were stolen, and that's how I'm supposed to get the trophy. I saw a lore book, which I'm gonna get because it's not marked on the map, and everything else is. Man, those bats look more like frickin' Daedra than bats. Jesus. Ugh. Stuff of nightmares. This is a tribute founder?
You can see me.
Where?
It takes a keen mind to see someone in my position. Welcome. You'll find no rattling chains or slamming.
Who is it and where are they?
I promise.
Philia.
Just a lost
it's a
soul
ghost.
Committed to a game that
in where? Where's the area?
Groktwood.
That sounds familiar.
I am Philia.
First one.
I was.
I think that's the first one you can challenge. Once you reach the rank.
I was a master of games. Games of all sorts. Cards, dice, parlor games. I loved them all. Alas, I ran afoul of a drunk who'd grown sick of me winning all the time. So he put a knife in me. In part, truthfully, I think other forces keep me here. Before I died, I helped the Roysters Club craft their game. I played countless matches, but always won. To truly know a game, you must lose. Perhaps if I am defeated, my spirit will move on.
I'll challenge you to a match.
But I sense that you are not ready. Only a master can defeat me. Go and hone your craft. Challenge others and improve. When you reach the summit, return to me. I would relish a challenge.
How do I face the ghost chick at Well,
she refused to challenge you?
Yes.
Reach rank 8 with tribute level.
That's going to come.
What is
that? You can challenge founders.
What is my tribute level? Tales of Tribute. I'm a level 4.
You're in no way ready to challenge a master.
Seriously want to go and actually play Gwent.
Trust me, Faendil. Magical transport is the only way this many Redguard could have appeared here so suddenly. We need to cut them off before an entire army is on our doorstep.
I have done this before. I remember now. I forget what character I did it on.
Tread carefully. An army is massing under our feet. I don't know how this happened. Somehow the Covenant has managed to fill this ruin with troops, and more seem to be arriving as if out of thin air.
I did this for what's his name from the Undaunted. I forget what he sent me here to do, but I'm pretty sure it involved eating something hallucinogenic and killing something else. Wow, tough crowd. Out of thin air?
It must be magic. No other explanation. This is the only entrance or exit to the ruin. The Red Guards must be using a portal to enter the ruin. They probably thought they could avoid detection until they had a force big enough to attack.
What do you want to do about it?
If there's a portal, and I'll eat my armor if there isn't, we need to seal it before reinforcements arrive. A lone scout will have an easier time than a full force. We don't have the numbers to face them head-on anyway.
Let me do it.
I appreciate it. Take this wand and use it to disrupt the portal. Be careful, though. Don't try to fight everybody. It'll be a waste if you die before closing that portal.
Kill everybody I see? Got you. Is there anybody else here? Did everybody just leave me? Minecraft, you're on mute.
I know.
God, I wish I was still a vampire.
What?
You can stealth kill people from further away as a vampire.
Huh.
Haha, your back is turned. Is your back turned? Yes, it was turned. Maybe I should do a PvP build for this character. Would give me an excuse to grind.
We've got this. Your prowess was befitting a knight. Well done.
Well, I pressed the thing to do the thing. Covenant Immortal, hey? Well, not so immortal anymore. Now you serve Sithis. I think that's an elf, so not part of the pact. So I mean, not pact. Not part of the covenant. So that's not the boss. I think I know who the boss is. Alright, that's taken care of. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, that's to talk to Isabel. Okay.
We'll see it done.
Alright. That quest was done.
Any luck? Did you find the source of the invaders?
You were right about the portal. I closed it using the wand.
Excellent. To be honest, I wasn't sure you would return at all. This is a favorable turn. Now we can secure this area and ensure it is not a weak link in our defense of the region. You have my gratitude.
Okay. So what does that leave me? Lots of sky shards and lots of books and lots of points of interest.
Trespassing someone's home and they can see you. How to get them to stop seeing you. Well, blade of woe.
You know, you're not wrong about that one.
Then I can go loot their safe box in the for the Thieves Guild.
Our weapons all night now.
You've only destroyed my whelps. These minions will not be so easily defeated. Pointless. 10 anchors drop for each that is destroyed.
I didn't realize Isabel was a fan of dolmens. Okay. What do I have left to do? One more sky shard. Let's go find it. Or at some point in the game will tell me where it is. Anyway, I guess while everything is quiet... Oh, damn it. Oh, well. There's a lot of questions happening over here. Well, I guess since it's quiet now in the party, I could do my usual way of a commentary.
You actually got the bow? Incredible. Did Storg give you much trouble?
He was already dead. He met his end in Vine Death Cave.
Vine Death Cave remains true to its name then. I'm sorry to hear it. Storg might have been a dunderheaded double-crosser, but he was still my friend. I figure I owe you what the Tree Thane paid me for the bow. Some thief I turned out to be, eh?
You know what?
You're always striving to learn something new. One of my favorite things about riding with you.
Minecraft, you're talking to yourself. It's not healthy.
Thinking I've gotten more progress in the Gur domain more in these few hours than like overall.
Oh yeah, no. Like if you're honestly, like a lot of games, if you actually put your mind into it, you realize a lot of things are much faster than they seem. The task looks more daunting until you actually start doing it and chipping away at it.
Stealing gives more than chests for the Gur domain.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't fence any goods.
You ran out of fence interactions already?
Uh-huh.
Have you tried using another character? You can't... Can you bank stolen goods?
I don't think so.
Not even to a moneylender?
Oh, no.
If you're not here on Dominion business, I'll need you to move along. My time is precious.
I killed this wanted criminal. Here's the proof.
A gruesome trophy, to be sure.
Can you just say you killed Bill?
But we've thought him dead twice before,
One moment.
only to learn how painfully wrong we were. There are many grieving families who will rejoice to hear of Zgolag's death. Here's your reward. It's well earned.
Okay, I have no idea. I was, when I played this, I like to read out whatever my dialogue choice is, as though I was actually speaking to the NPC. And, unfortunately my pronunciation is gonna be butchered, so I killed this guy. Here's the proof. And I assume I've already been here, so that's why I'm not getting the points. Okay, you came back at the weirdest... You come back to conversations at the weirdest possible moments, you know that?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, what can I say, bro? It's a natural gift.
I know what I'm gonna do. Before I continue working on side quests and shit, I'm gonna change the outfit on my characters. If I'm smart, I would have put down all these things already, so...
Within the tree? How would one find him? The tree is so...
About to see the, my primary residence. I'm not big on house decoration, but this place looked cool, so I bought it. I mean, I like the idea of a little hidden secret mountain retreat, which I could, you know, try to make it look mystic at night with all these different light sources. But, you know, I suck at decorating, so... Anywho. Okay. Some things gotta change. I'm actually gonna... I act like I'm actually gonna care about fashion, but I know damn well... But I know darn well I'm not actually gonna give a darn about it. Okay, do I even have the full set for this? No, I don't. Alright. What was I doing? Oh yeah, let's call it there. Man, I do not have the money for this shit. Makes me wonder if I have... I don't think I have the full Ascendant Order set. Would be cool if I did, though. I'm also really sad I can't change the emissive color on this. Yeah, I've been spoiled by Warframe, sue me. Okay, nothing really signature here. Do I have anything opal? Besides what's already equipped? No, I don't. I think I'm gonna change the shield at least. Do I have... I do not have an outfit change token. Alright. I have Isabel in full bone mold armor.
Bone mold?
Yeah.
I'm following a goddamn path of green footprints.
Yeah, it's a, it was a thing, I got it from one of the previous events. You played Skyrim, right, Nat, or have you not?
What type of question is that? Of course I played Skyrim, mate. Who hasn't?
You played the DLCs?
I was able to build a house.
Did you ever travel to the...
I was able to build a house. I had my vampire bitch right next to me.
This is a guy who does not remember his time there, clearly. Okay,
But yeah, what about it, mate? Come on, tell me right now. Hit me what about it?
Have you, do you ever been to Solstheim? Have you seen the, do you know what the, do you know what the bone mold shit looks like?
No.
Alright, basically, to make it easier to understand, as, part of the expansion for that. Wait, do I have the full Ascendant Order shit? Damn it, I would have put the Ascendant Order on Isabel if I knew I had the full Ascendant set.
I'm pretty sure you would have gotten the full Ascent Order set after you finish your quest.
Fuck.
What's fuck?
I gotta spend another $5,500, another like $5,500 to redo Isabel's costume.
Do you marry Isabel?
You don't marry, there is no marriage option with the things that are not, that I'm aware of at the moment.
Oh wait, no, my bad, I'm thinking about Skyrim.
Yeah. But on the bright side, it doesn't cost me a thing to apply the change, so... Now my own equipment, let me put on the... What do I have in terms of signatures, anyway? Well, I could do full Ascendant too, but... No. Well, this ain't gonna be cheap. Might want to just hide the helmet, though. Do I want to do this mix and match shit? That's the question. That actually doesn't look that bad. Although the difference in style clearly doesn't fit the full thing. What else do I have? I might just go from one of my head adornings for the time being. I'll take it. I am also a Welkinar Minecraft. I'm finally a full-blown Welkinar like you are.
What would you ask of me?
There we go. And now, let's see. Not that. I think that works. Alright, now I gotta go find a way shrine. This problem with this house. Didn't check the neighborhood before I bought it.
Back in the saddle.
I should have put on an opal staff on my thing. I could have also colored the outfit, but there was a way shrine around here somewhere, I know it. I just have no clue where the hell it is. I will find it. At some point I will find it. Okay. Now back to Groktwood, and once again the party goes silent, so I might be able to continue questing. Question of what the hell am I doing now? I've lost my train of thought. But I've changed the look of my character, so at the very least, it's different. Now, both my character and my companion they look like they're a bit more battle ready than they were before. And I'm glad I finished. I need to do the Master Angler trophy. You'd think I would have finished it by now, but
I don't know why you say Master Angler. I'm thinking like you're talking about Terraria.
Remember, stop your relentless pacing. It's giving me a headache. Your lack of commitment is the reason we're here.
If you won't stop bickering, I'll gag you both. Ha, come in. Good work out there.
Thank God Google exists for puzzles.
Alright, everybody quiet on set. Dialogue.
The Black Sap are leaderless and their attack was blunted thanks to your quick work. Cormount will heal in time.
What will happen to Gelethor and his friends? I mean his sons.
Here until the king says otherwise. Better they're thought missing than known to be alive or dead. The Black Sap leadership won't know what to do.
That sounds harsh.
What would you have us do? Give them a public trial? This is a delicate time for the king. Gelthior has too many sympathizers in Cormount. Perhaps one day, when things are more stable. Until then, they can rot in here.
If he puts them on trial, the king shows he doesn't fear the black sap and makes them look stronger.
Perhaps you're right. Rumors of his weakness on the matter have been persistent. All I can do is advise the king when I next see him. But my word still carries some weight. I'll recommend a public trial to show he doesn't fear the black sap.
Alright.
Here, a little present. I can't make you a vine dust ranger, but I can give you something to show you're an honorary member. They represent the king's trust, knowing we uphold the Green Pact, despite our exemption from it. You've more than earned it.
People who sacrifice their beliefs in order to protect it. Why does that sound like somebody I highly respect from video games?
Because a lot of video game characters do that.
I was thinking mostly about Ghost of Tsushima, but I mean,
well, that too. Because you give up he gave up his honor and his family just to avenge.
His honor, his family name, his
he gave up everything to save everybody.
Save all he can. It's funny because the only reason that shit happened was politics. It was all political. The fucking shogun couldn't have him walking around and demonstrating.
Yeah, he became the fucking messiah, and then they hate him for that.
Yeah, the man became the first shinobi.
Hey, you! Please wait.
For real.
I want a Ghost of Tsushima 2. Now that we're talking about it, I do want a Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Okay, I haven't played the DLC yet.
You haven't?
And I'm probably not going to, but like, is it? How did it feel?
I mean,
like, does it imply that there was another thing coming, or everything is answered?
The DLC, no. The DLC for I gotta go find something to do now while we're talking. The DLC for Ghost of Tsushima. I'm gonna go. What can I do to go? I'm gonna go pick up some cards and I'll play tribute in the background. The DLC for Ghost of Tsushima, it didn't hint towards like a separate thing. It was a completely separate, like, it was still affected by the events of the base game, but it was like the story was completely separate. There's another high-ranking Mongol leader attempting to exert control over the island, and you know, except the Mongol leader is more like instead of like a tactician, a general, she's also something of a witch doctor. For lack of better terminology, she's a witch doctor.
So less of a tyrant and more of a cursed person. More of voodoo. Yeah,
in a sense like that, because what she considers a sacred medicine is like a hallucinogen, a very strong hallucinogen, and I don't know how or why, but it brings up like the things that, like the hidden trauma in the back of your mind that you've either that you managed to keep suppressed, or something else that brings you great pain. So, in the case of Jin, he sees the whole DLC was sort of like to show, kind of build more on his father's character, even though it also kind of changes his story compared to what we learned in the base game. And Jin, very much so, there's a lot of things he works out, like trying to work through his guilt over his father's death was a big one, and trying
right, because he's the reason his father got killed, because
we thought he was too much of a child to be able to fight back then. But funny enough, Jin was actually able to fight back then. What happened was the island doesn't have a strong samurai influence, so the people live there are like thugs and thieves and pirates. So they sent in
another day, another challenge. Yes.
Lord Shimura sent Jin's father and a contingent of samurai to bring order to the island. But
this one has at least remember you.
But you know how the way Lord Shimura is all about honor and fighting in a proper manner. You know it's all Hollywood the way Shimura behaves, right? His adherence to honor is more the Hollywood.
It's more his reputation. He's basically more about looks than honor. That's basically what it is, because like he upholds the honor so he can maintain the look.
Yeah,
but he'll never.
But like traditionally for that era, samurai were a lot more ruthless, and Jin's father was the embodiment of that sort of ruthlessness. And while in his mind he might have been trying to bring order to a land of barbarians, after his father fell, because you'll see later why, Jin, and for anyone saying anything about spoilers or whatnot, I should say spoiler. I should have said spoiler alert, but also I don't particularly care because I did stream this. So, anyway, you've been warned. Stop listening at this point, if you actually care.
Do you have anybody listening right now or watching right now?
No, but for posterity.
For who?
Because I move all my streams to YouTube. I move all my streams to YouTube anyway, just so that someone can see it. It's also how I keep things going to YouTube these days, since most of my other friends who used to stream with me don't stream to our YouTube channel anymore. Moved on with their lives. What was I saying? Anyway, Jin's father was very ruthless, and eventually he was killed through ambush. And after that, the samurai pulled back to mourn their dead. But with the samurai gone, all the people eventually just, looked at them as butchers and monsters as opposed to any form of real hero. There was actually a backstory I remember somewhere in the where this one chick,
you honestly think you can keep pace with me?
she found a dead not a dead but like a dying samurai, and she gave him shelter, which her father was not crazy about, to the point where her father actually cut off her arm in punishment. But afterwards, said samurai came back and actually burned down the homestead that which he had taken shelter in before. So it was definitely very so clearly there was a very much brutality on the part of the samurai. Anyway, it shows that, Jin's back. It's supposed to build on the fact that is where Jin picked up his idea of honor. That it's not, that it's supposed to build on this, that's how he later just is able to give up the samurai code in order to be able to do what he needs to do. some of the battles he participated in, he was killing like farmers and like peasants, people who were extremely weak, couldn't fight anyway, and didn't know how to fight.
So that's how ruthless was.
So that's basically how ruthless his father was in the attempt to pacify the island. But anyway, because the island is made of thugs and they've already beat the samurai once, they have a really bad what's the word? They have a bad samurai have a bad reputation there, and more so if anybody ever showed up wearing the colors of the Sakai clan. So, but Jin has to stop the Mongols there, who were attempting to ally with the bandits against the samurai. Anyway, long story short, Jin goes in. Jin meets up with the local he goes in disguise in an attempt to stop the Mongols. He comes face to face with a lot of things. Some of the atrocities his father's committed. There's a lot of it is like finding out his more so of his backstory and some of his more painful childhood memories and shit like that. Yeah, basically shit like that. And it's about the length of like a single act, give or take. Anyway, I thought it was a good DLC. I mean, it was part of it. It had that traditional, it kept not traditional, but it kept with the storyline of or not storyline. I can't speak right now because I'm focusing on too many things at once. It kept with the game. The gameplay was pretty much the same, except they added, more enemies that can swap their swap weapons. We may or may not have faced them inside the multiplayer in some of the newer maps they released. Don't even know what that did. I'm not paying attention to this game. I'm just playing. There was a lot of things to be had. I did like seeing I can patron win this if I wanted. I think I'm going to patron win this.
You're trying to do all your tributes?
Yeah.
Which means you're trying to reach Master Rank 2?
You know, I should really be focusing on buying only one type of card for this shit, but I'm not. It was just something to do while I was talking to Nat. Because I don't want to just, like... When I'm talking with friends while playing games, you'll find I just walk in circles around the, I'll be walking in circles.
Like you do in Ark.
Yeah, hey, whoever's listening to music, stop that shit. Please. I don't even know what, what am I planning? I have no idea. I don't think I can actually combo this. Shit. Yeah. Made a mistake. I wasn't, shoot. Oh well. Alright, that's one win. I'm still surprised Ember is into Tribute the way she is. And I've said that many times before, I know, but Ember just doesn't strike me as somebody who would like watching people play cards. I mean, she wants excitement, action. She pretty much will blow up a lab just to see if one of her concoctions will work. Hell with caution, right? I mean, that's what we did. That's part of her. That's part of the quest that we did to pick her up as a companion. Was just she fucked up with an experiment, and she had to fix it. And then, but all in all, it. I don't mind. It's just, for me, it's just trying to get numbers up. Nat, are you still here?
What, me?
The cat
yeah.
those monsters. I'm getting out of here. The island sprung a leak. Run.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know. The conversation died again. What do we want to talk about?
Hey, bro, that usually happens around there.
Shows you I cannot keep a conversation going to save my life.
Not true.
Well, if you ask me to talk about something I thoroughly enjoy, I could go on for hours, but it wouldn't be a conversation, it would just be me talking.
What are you saying? That's how it is sometimes. Are you or no?
Accept your challenge.
What? Say again?
I said, are you saying that's how it is sometimes?
What? Like, if you gave me a topic to talk about, and I liked it, I would just keep on going?
Yeah, is that what you think?
I'd say, yeah, that would be me.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
Well, true. Oh, that's how this game is gonna play, eh? Well, I can't afford that, so I've got to change strategies.
What's the threat?
No idea. All I know is that I'm not letting this asshole have that. Because I know what happens if you're in control of that. It's like having somebody in charge of Rajang just constantly spamming, whatchamacallit. Shit. But, as I was saying, what about you? Do you, would you like to see a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima?
I mean, yeah, I want to know, like, what they could do to continue it, because to me the game was cool, it was fun. I got bored of it at the end, but you know, it was... I'm not gonna say it's one of the best samurai games out there, but I'm not gonna say it's the best one, but it's one of the best. Cause if you think about it, it takes it in a different way. Like it kind of made it like an Assassin's Creed type of way. If you really think about it, like it kind of made it like a little bit more of like a platformer based. You get what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, I see that.
And for what they were going with, sure, was not nice. You don't see many games where you could like. Actually, no, what am I talking about? You do see many games like that. Fucking all the Yakuzas and all the Yakuzas and some other shit, where you have the different fighting styles.
Once again, I've made a mistake because I'm not really paying attention to the game. Fuck.
And Albert, what would you think of that, by the way?
What? Yeah, remind me again. Like it completely blanked what you just said. I heard like it's reminded you of the like, Yakuza games. And my mind blanked after that.
how would you like? Would it be? Because you know it can't really be the same. They can't. They can't really make the same game twice, so they will have to add more shit to it.
Honestly, I don't mind. I mean, supposedly The Last of Us 2 kept the same gameplay as The Last of Us 1. They just made a complete new story and added maybe new enemies, right? So I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't really mind if they kept the gameplay relatively the same.
No, but I'm saying like, you know, they'll have to make new stances.
Honestly, what I want to know is like, I'm really curious where they take the story. Because the gameplay was solid and I loved the gameplay, but I liked the story. And I liked the cinematic-ism of it. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of those old samurai flicks that the game was supposed to be inspired by, but I think the game did a decent service to that style of movie, you know? So I'm curious what they would do with another story. And if we're talking about ideas I'd love to see in a second game, I can go on about that. You know, I forget how long. Historically speaking, there's actually a second Mongol invasion of Japan. Not a few years after the events of the first one. And I can't say I quite remember. I don't remember how many years, but I remember watching on YouTube by this, one of those historians on YouTube that kind of just break down the whether or not certain things are historically accurate. And he was talking about, and you know, I mean, he talked about it. He mentioned, you know, they took a lot of creative liberties with the game. They, you know, supposedly, obviously the costumes are different for the era. That's all I can remember that I'm confident enough to say without somebody saying, oh, you were wrong about that. But historically, there was the first Mongol invasion. I mean, I don't think it got as far as it did in the game, but there would be a second. There is supposed to be a second invasion of Japan by the Mongolians. That's what's important, and I wouldn't mind if they did something with that again.
Why, for making another invasion happen?
You can take down this old bear, eh? Get your
I don't remember. I don't know enough about it to say this, but it'd be cool if, for example, the Mongols landed on mainland Japan, and that's your map that you're fighting in, the mainland. But you're also now Jin is a full blown shinobi. I mean, he ended as a full blown shinobi, so you know. It'd be cool to play as, like, Jin's, like, I don't know, would you ship Jin and Yuna? That's what I'm gonna ask you first before I talk about this next thing.
Well, yes, one, she saved her life. She saved his life. And two, after that, they had a rocky start, but they built a good, I would say, level of friendship or trust in each other. So yeah, I can see it.
So so a game where Jin is now it's either you're playing as Jin's son or daughter, maybe a daughter. I mean, we saw a lot of females try to pick up arms in the first game. And, you know, maybe that could be a story point if they decide to go with the second Mongol invasion as a setting, I don't think the timeline works out that the child would really be old enough, and Jin would be the child would still be very young to actually have to pick up and fight the way Jin would, and Jin realistically wouldn't have gotten that old and decrepit in that time. If you catch my drift. But I wouldn't mind if, like, we had a whole new story where you're playing as Jin's offspring, who is now, like, a shinobi going around, and, maybe it's a revenge story. Jin finally... I mean, I don't want it to happen, but, Jin has lived a life as a shinobi. He's constantly had to fight people who's been trying to claim the bounty on his head, and at the beginning of the game, you're playing as Jin's child, and she watches it happen. That someone finally, takes down his or her father, and now you're on a quest for revenge.
Okay, I mean that would be nice. That would be cool. But what about this? You play as the kid. You play as the kid, and I don't know what happens. Something happens between you and Jin. So the kid grows up to resent Jin, and I would say necessarily goes up against him, and they basically fight it out towards the end of the game, where it's either one of them dies by each other, how it happened with Jin and his uncle.
That's actually not a bad way in my mind. Like for whatever reason, Jin and his daughter were separated, and he had to and basically the daughter gets raised by someone, and she's trained to dislike her father for being dishonorable. That would be...
Or better yet, she gets taken while she was little, so she never really knew her father, so she wouldn't really have a mental
image of him.
Yeah, so she would think that he's lying if he tries to prove that, if he's the father and stuff like that. Like, real talk, they could actually go into so many different ways for this game, for a second one.
They can. They really could. I would definitely like... That actually would be an interesting story. Like, they could do what they did, like the, how the story for Star Wars Battlefront 2 with, Iden supposed...
How you start off as the Imperial Special Forces commander, and then you just realize you've been fighting on the wrong side the entire time?
Pretty much, yeah. But it's after the child ends up killing Jin that she realizes just how fucked up the people she was serving was.
You just gave me an amazing fucking idea. But finish what you're saying.
Like, I think you want like a really cool idea. You give you do that shit. You do what you said. The daughter I'm gonna say daughter, just because
it'll be different. It'll be different.
It'd be very different just to see, constantly, a female samurai, well, somewhat of a female samurai, but more of a female shinobi. Anyway, the daughter gets taken at a young age. She's raised by samurai. She's trained to be an assassin, whatever the equivalent of that is. Unbeknownst to her, her target, her ultimate target, and her first test was to defeat Jin, her father, her true father. She only finds out after it's said and done, because Jin couldn't bring himself to kill his child. He has some deathbed regrets, final words, that causes her to, like, think that the Japanese rule that which she's supporting is fucked up. It is. I'm not gonna deny that. And that is how she goes on a lone quest to fucking do something in the mainland. Some sort of a lot of fighting in the mainland. I don't know.
Okay. You ready for my amazing idea?
What?
That you gave me?
What?
Okay, so you know the prologue, how there was a prologue in the first one?
The whole thing when they're standing on a beach and the part where the guy gets cut off, gets his head cut off and all that. Yeah.
It'll be a prologue like that, where you start off and you're playing as Jin, but instead of like all the breachable shit, basically the Shogun found you. So the samurai forces are attacking.
Mm-hmm.
And the village or wherever you're at is being, like, bombarded with arrows and stuff. Everything's on fire. So you go out to fight. And probably save Yuna from a situation she's in. And I would say that most of the people that are on your side either get killed or captured. And you have to choose who to save. And then when you get there, you have to go back because your child is in trouble. But when you get there, you fight, I don't know, let's say the first fake boss.
Mm-hmm.
And as you fight them, you watch them steal your child away. And then from that point on of the game, you play as the child, growing up to hate Jin and everything.
Okay. What would be the epiphany moment in that? Because obviously the bit for us, the whole Jin's child taken from him and forced and manipulated to fight him later, the epiphany is when she meets with him and they fight. Is there supposed to be like a choice here that she continues to what happens after they fight?
Okay, no. Let me rephrase that. The person you're fighting as Jin is a person that kills Yuna, so it'll kill the child's mother right in front of her. But since the child got taken right after that, they'll make it believe like Jin did it.
Was the one okay?
So that's why she'll grow up resenting him and hating him, even though she has no idea who he is. And then by the time they actually come to the big battle, it'll be reminiscent from all the stuff when the child was like, like a baby, like, all the mementos and shit like that they had. Like family trinkets and everything that the child would slowly remember over the fight. And towards the end of the fight where he would necessarily kill Jin or correctly, you know how in fights when you correctly injure somebody, so where they're gonna die, but they have a 5-hour talk with you, then they die after that.
It's you mortally wound them, but they have enough time to say something that changes. I get that cliche. I get it. Yeah.
So basically, that would happen, and then that would be like the huge turning point, since you find out the truth. You killed your father because you were brainwashed. And you find out that your mother died for basically no reason, or by the people that you're working for. So that's when the revenge quest will start to destroy everything that the Shogun has built.
Ooh, shiny.
I could see that. Like, you know what I want to do? Like, it would be cool. It would also be like extreme. I guess it'd fall under scrutiny. What if like you get a choice when after the fight with Jin? You either like Jin, you as the child, has been hidden away, trained, but then first they find at the point. Like I guess Jin becomes the like the tutorial boss, and after you defeat him, you get the choice of either believing what he said or not to, and it becomes like if you choose to believe him, now you're fighting samurai trying to liberate the island from their corrupt control, or if you choose to believe Jin, which becomes the more popular choice because, well, it's Jin from the first game. Fuck. Or if you choose not to believe him, which I think is going to be the least popular choice because, you played him in the first game. Now you're going around stomping out parts of his followers, which are like really strong shinobi hideouts. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I like that idea. But I would say that if they do that, if it goes in that direction, once you finish, destroying everything that he's built and all built, they won't need you anymore. So then they
betray you.
They betray you, trying to kill you and cast you aside. So the Sakai legacy could be erased
for good. Yeah, that would be cool. That's a lot of content. That's a lot.
Depending on the ending you picked for the first game.
Bro, that'd be sick.
Because you know how it's either your uncle is alive or you finish him, and if you spare him, he says he will hunt you down for the rest of his life.
That is cool. Could you imagine how, like, storyline wise, that translates to a lot of fucking gameplay. Like several hours.
A lot of content right there.
Several hours just to get to the point where, like, you either ensure the Sakai legacy or you destroy it. And then at the end. But in the grand scheme
the uncle could be the one that kidnaps the child. Bam, and then
bro, that would be cool.
Right beside you.
That would be cool. But I feel like this, right? I feel like if the show this is I don't know because I'm not well versed in Honor both the actual Bushido and in the game, but what are the odds Lord Shimura didn't just like get ordered to commit seppuku by the Shogun after he failed the first time? But I see what you mean. Like, what if, like, if he did survive, if the Shogun did give him a second chance, and Shimura did continue on his promise to hunt down and eventually kill Jin, that would be cool. But then that also, like, that story there. It's like, okay, fine. The most fucked up thing afterwards would be after Shimura used Jin's child to beat him. Now he has to kill another person who, I feel like Lord Shimura would still have some feeling for the child and see the child as his grandchild. Because at the end, he did see Jin as his son, right?
Right.
Man. I swear to God, we just gotta sit down and write a fucking story.
Hey, bro. That's a lot of content.
It would be. I have faith that, like, the right person with that sort of vision and that sort of Deus Ex Machina type of thinking could pull it off. But also realistically, but I also have to look at it realistically. An overwhelming majority of the fan base who played the first game would only pick the option where they support Jin. They choose to believe Jin. And then the child ends up dismantling the samurai regime, and then have to go kill Shimura later.
Well, actually, let me hold up. Let me. Gotta look up something now.
You want to know the statistic of who killed Shimura and who let him live?
Yes.
Honestly, I'll tell you what I did. I spared him. But after I watched and went on YouTube and I saw the other ending and a lot of the other people talked about in the comments and talk about, you know, samurai honor and the likelihood that Shimura would have been sent back practically in disgrace himself and probably forced to commit seppuku, I thought maybe he would have felt better if I had finished him myself.
Ever see a Soul Razor Knight? It's an animated suit of armor fueled by necromantic mat. The Sable Knight. Well, you look ready.
So you went back to kill him because you thought he was gonna commit seppuku?
No, I went and I watched it, but I strongly believe he would have committed seppuku, or he would have been forced to by the shogun. But I could also see if the shogun let Shimura spend the rest of his days trying to hunt Jin down. That would be
I can't find a percentage of how many people did what or picked what side, so can't really say now.
All right. But then my next question: If you did kill Shimura, I get if you let Shimura live, he is the one who essentially kills Yuna in this alternate game. He's the one who kills Yuna. He's the one who takes the child and trains her to kill Jin. But if you did kill him, who would take Shimura's place? The Shogun? I doubt it.
Okay, so if you didn't kill him, he was sent by the Shogun's order, or he was ordered by the Shogun to do this to his family. And if you did kill him,
Thanks for the heal.
I would say either the Shogun sent another high-ranking clan that's close to the Sake, that Jin would know.
Fortunately, I don't think that's very many people. Most of them were killed.
Yeah, not many of them survived. Or think about it, hear me out. I know this is a long shot, but think about it like this, a defect.
What, like a defector from Jin's,
Yes. Yes, a defector from Jin. Let's say, yes, Jin saved everything, but everything went to shit after that, and that's because he that's because he didn't die. His uncle wasn't able to kill him, and that person honored his uncle very much. And then after the uncle's death, everything went to shit because Jin was continuously hunted, so everybody kept on dying. There was a whole bunch of more bloodshed and death because Jin was alive. One person would be getting super pissed off because their family would probably be dead too and want to do something about it. So they would basically defect from Jin's side and join up with the Shogun. And they would train until they could get not good enough to beat Jin, but like decently enough to put up a good fight.
I could see that.
That'd be crazy.
What?
You know, imagine if you're an FBI guy, if he's actually listening, or, you know, one of the creators of this ghosts are just on your screen for some reason. Because, like, you know, they just flick through a whole bunch of random things and you see, like, just talking about the game. And they get the idea, be like, yo, these are really good ideas, and they actually make the game because of that.
It would have to bank. We would have to bank very much so that our FBI agent is also a gamer for that to happen. But yeah, that would be cool.
I think the FBI agent would cope with our stupidity, even if it doesn't even pay attention.
A lot of alcohol and possibly already having blown his brains out, and then it's a new guy watching us.
Chest open. What do I have the skill for?
God damn it! I can't fucking I can't do this by myself. There's too much shit going on at once. Hey Marco, could I get some help with a world boss?
Are there guards there?
No.
Because I kind of got a 500 gold bounty.
It's the Sable Knight in fucking High Isle.
Nothing's... you there right now?
I'm there right now.
Traveling. I might even be able to solo this thing, but...
If you can solo it, it's better for me. I'll deal with ads if you can solo it.
I don't necessarily have us thinking aggro draw, though.
Don't worry about it. If you're the one focused the attention on the knight, then, or we just send Isabel after it.
Skills. Do I even have anything to unlock the aggro draw?
Bro, if we're gonna sit here and talk about it, what about Bad Company 3? You play the Bad Company games, right?
Yeah.
Story for Bad Company 3, go.
You gotta remind me.
Wait, do you have healing stuff that you can do?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna replace my self-heal ability with taunt ability.
You gotta remind me about the story for that, because I haven't played that shit in a minute.
That's how I'm looking. I'm gonna need the healing because I heal on damage anyway.
Bad Company 1, it was a standalone story. I mean, you're just a bunch of soldiers in a unit that's it's like a cannon fodder unit, because it's where all the misfits go, and they end up at the end of the game they desert with a truckload of fucking gold. But then in Bad Company 2, they're now a Spec Ops Black Operation unit, Special Forces Black Ops unit, and they stop some major plot in time for the Russians to invade Alaska. And essentially, like, some big war is about to start. My first thought when I think about a potential for us, do you want me to share this? Minecraft? You don't need to share, I assume?
So what?
You don't need me to share the quest?
Nah.
Okay.
Add control, please.
Working on it.
Give your Magica a chance to recover.
Didn't one of them die in the... Didn't one of them die stuck in the water?
In what?
And then in the back of the thing?
I don't think so. Holy shit, that was,
Easy.
that was something. Anyway, I don't think, none of them died at the end of Bad Company 2.
That's just fairly easy.
At this point, I don't know what you're talking about, if someone dying in the end, because if I guess it wrong, I'm gonna spoil a game for you.
I'm not... Bro, Bad Company 2... I don't think I'm ever gonna play that again, so...
No. I think I know which game you're talking about. Like, none of them died at the end of Bad Company 2. But if you're talking about a game where you had a squad and somebody died at the end, I know
Any other
a
bosses
game.
you need?
Tell me in the game.
Republic Commando.
That's not a high all boss.
Oh, now I gotta play the game to figure out which one. Now I gotta fucking complete that to see actually which one it is. I know Scorch is alive.
Well, yeah, I mean, he made a comeback in fucking, in the Bad Batch, of course he's alive.
Yep.
No, on the subject of that, you want to talk about that sequel for Republic Commando?
House do falling to the people of High
Hit
Isle
me
makes
with
me
it.
so proud.
Maybe I did, mate.
Thank you, my friend.
You know how... I don't know, like... It's weird because it is mentioned that commandos were more likely to, at least in the expanded universe, it's mentioned that commandos were more likely to ignore Order 66 than the typical clone. But you know how in the Clone Wars TV show they made it canon about the control chips?
Right.
So, depending on which one becomes the basis, then the whole game kind of falls flat. But what if the one who supposedly died survived, but if it is his chip?
So since everyone thought he died because of whatever fucking reason,
he doesn't become one of those clones that, like, give their lives to the Empire after all was said and done. It becomes a dynamic where the original squad at some point ends up facing against him early on, but obviously they can't pull the trigger on him because it's their brother. They thought he was dead. If the chips aren't involved, then they actually have you can actually have a story where the one who was dead is now becomes another battle of right and wrong, Empire versus the Rebellion. Yep. I keep thinking like a good story where you're playing as the Empire for a change, as opposed to as opposed to you know, always playing the rebels and defeating the Empire. Wanted to see an actual game where you see, you know, where you play as the Empire, but you know, you see the propaganda, you see the things. Maybe closer towards the end, you get a choice to either betray the Empire or not. Not have it thrown into you like 3 missions into the game. Right, it was like 3 missions into the game, and Aiden betrayed the Empire, right?
I think it was 4.
Either way, pretty early on into the game, Aiden immediately switches sides. And I mean, the reasoning for a switch was kind of stupid, but anyway, yeah, she switched sides pretty early on. Became another one of those bait and switch, almost kind of bullshit lies that developers give to fucking, or companies give to players. Why are there so many sorcerers in one place?
Let me guess. Gallon?
No, I'm in Groktwood, the guild trader area. All I see...
Oh, you're in Groktwood right now?
I'm in Groktwood right now.
Oh, cool, let me travel you. I need to go break into some safe boxes there.
Don't you have a bounty on your head?
Cleared.
Okay.
Yeah, cleared.
Before you go anywhere, come see this. It's just a fuckload of sorcerers here, because all you see are sorcerer summons.
You should have seen the goddamn... Did you see the damn screenshot I sent yesterday?
Yeah.
That's worse. That's probably worse.
Yeah, but look, when you spawn in, look at this shit. I mean, I'm adding to it because I'm also a sorcerer, but...
I've been thinking about doing a sorcerer pet build.
I do want to do that as well. There's like 3 summons you can have as a sorcerer, so...
I mean, there's the matriarch, there's the
clan fear, there's the scamp.
I think the scamp and clan fears are 2 separate things.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they are interchangeable.
Why am I asking you this? I'm the sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
I've used sorcerer before delete it. But a third pet, like a good pet, will be Maw of the Infernal, which I might want to make something out of.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Nat, what's up?
Okay, so, like, how would it be though for
this supposed Republic Commando 2?
Yeah. Okay, for the one that survived.
The one who everyone thought was dead but survived. Yeah.
Okay, so what would the story be? Like, basically, once he figures out that everybody is corrupted and stuff, he tries to save his brothers by taking their chips out.
Like I said, it depends.
Or would it be like some type of basically survival shit like the Bad Batches? Just live your life out and survive as long as possible.
I'm coming to you, Minecraft. I would say this. It would be... Like I said, it depends on which way they go with it. Because there's 2 ways... I've had Order 66 explained to me in 2 ways. Either... What?
Can you actually see the animation?
Can you,
Can you see the animation?
I saw the animation.
Huh.
So what about good soldiers following orders?
There's basically... There's 2 ways Order 66 has been explained to me. There's the chips, which means if the chip gets activated, no clone can actually resist it. Because as we saw, no one could fucking resist. No clone could resist the fucking chips.
Who saw me?
And, the only one, and the other way was, like, if you played the original Star Wars Battlefront, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
The original, I should rephrase that. You played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
So Star Wars, the first remake of Star Wars Battlefront? Or the original Star Wars Battlefront?
the sequel to the original, you know, back in 2000 in the PlayStation 2 era.
Oh, okay, the original Battlefront 2.
Yeah. You know how, if you ever played the Rise of the Empire story for that?
I played all the stories, I believe.
Okay. You remember how the 501st Journal, you had the voice actor for Jango Fett talking about like doing little prologues to every battle?
Right.
You ever hear what he says about Order 66, the mission where you're going into the Jedi Temple and killing all the Jedi? Which, by the way, I really wish they had a proper way of remaking that. I want them to remake that right. Yes, I want to gun down a bunch of Jedi. Anyway, he explains it as like, you know, it was on the trip back to Coruscant before they marched into the temple, no one talked about it. They were all quiet. When they went in, they knew what they were going to do. But if they had any doubts about it, you know, no one said about it. They just went and they carried out their orders.
Yeah.
That I believe that's a bit more believable. Because it's established that there were Jedi who survived Order 66. Whether or not it's with or without the help of their clones. If the clones had that order ingrained in them, but they weren't forced to obey, they could either choose to or not to. One, it actually leads better to the whole "we are not a bunch of droids" story that they had during the Clone Wars story arc on Umbara. But two, it actually becomes feasible for clones to actually disobey the order. Because the chip basically made them immune to... basically controlled their minds. They could not fucking resist it as hard as they could.
The chip overrides every order.
So, anyway... One of two things could happen. I mean, they could explain it as like... they could explain it one of two ways. You know, they have the chips removed early on. Their chips aren't working right. That type of thing. Something to negate the chip if the chip is still in play. Or they didn't have the chips and it's their free will that they chose to continue with the Empire, the original.
I should really just use a counterfeit Parn Edict so I can get on with this damn area's quest.
Yeah.
Where are some safe boxes in Grotwood? I can't find any.
Yeah, wait. You know what they should actually do, though?
What?
They should make a game where you play as... Actually, never mind. I was gonna say something dumb because, you know, that's what Republic Commandos are.
What? The Commandos are... Commandos are not dumb.
No, I was gonna say they should make one where you just play as a... Where you should play as a, you know, your average... like, you should play as a clone trooper instead of, like, someone with all the power.
The average clone, okay, yeah. The average clone, or maybe an ARC trooper, not like a fucking Commandos, or... A regular clone, a run-of-the-mill clone. Got it. Where are you going with it? What are they doing?
This fucking Grotwood has, like, no fucking safe boxes to pick. How am I supposed to do this quest?
Have you gone inside the thing? A lot of them, look inside some of the mushroom houses. Look for what you're looking for is really, look for anything where there's a merchant. And not the crafting people either. Just a merchant.
Wonder if there's anything back here.
You said, where am I going this?
Yeah, okay, they're playing as a regular clone, but what is it that they're supposed to, what is it like, during the events of the Clone Wars and, you know, transition into the Empire?
No, it would focus... I say it should focus on the psyche of a clone trooper. Meaning, from when they first started to how it ends. Seeing all your brothers die and stuff, and then having to deal with... then undergoing the process of being controlled and trying to resist the trip. Seeing everything that's happening, but you have no control over it because your mind's being completely taken over. You know, some shit like that.
That's cool. I could see that. That's actually pretty cool.
Found a safe box.
The only thing, what I really would love to see is, you know, the whole good soldiers follow orders thing. It would be cool. Like, could you picture... But the other thing would be, right, is... The one thing I don't see happening is, like... What if... Something I have to understand. You know, the typical clone, you know, with Order 66... If it's like a ground fight, the clones had a pretty high chance of going down before you know, they so like would you end up as a soldier who dies during Order 66? Or just manages to survive long enough for the chip to finally let go? And
say that again, bro. Say that again.
Do you like? I see that, you know, you play as a clone who had to undergo Order 66. Now, okay, so the chip is happening. I can picture it like this, like it's one of those like segments. It's one of those in like, you know, Far Cry when like when you're high off whatever fucking drugs that they gave the character. It's like that. The clone is seeing everything he's doing, but he can't control it, and all you hear is like, you hear his thoughts basically in that moment. You're watching him, you know, raise his weapon to a Jedi and pull the trigger multiple times.
Him do this shit.
But then, inside his mind, you're hearing wait, this isn't right. What's going on? Why can't I control this? I have to stop. Meanwhile, all you hear is the chip speaking. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Yeah, but then, realistically... Well, actually no. In the movies, a lot of Jedi died pretty quick before they had a chance to react. The only one I think in the movies who actually managed to kill any clones before they went down was the dude with the really...
Put this stupid shit open. God damn, I hate the skill doesn't even fucking work.
Don't bother with the force lock, man. Your odds are very bad.
Say what you're saying?
The only one that I saw in the movies that actually was able to kill a couple of clones before they died was the dude with the really long pointy head.
Ki-Adi-Mundi!
Yeah. He was the only one who managed to kill a clone before he went down on the big screen. I'm sure in Expanded Universe a lot of clones died, I mean. But in the movies, really only Ki-Adi-Mundi managed to kill somebody. Everyone else, you know, got taken by surprise and killed.
Because they weren't expecting it. Ki-Adi-Mundi was more connected to the Force, like Yoda was.
But even he couldn't stop it. It was just too many. He managed to get a couple of them with deflected blaster bolts, though.
And you know the reasoning for that, right?
Isn't it like he has like 2 brains in his head?
Oh well, yeah, that's why he has a big ass fucking dome for no reason.
But
that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm at your service.
So why?
You missed it.
Well, I'm
3 undaunted. I know.
Well, what I'm talking about is
Every day,
how you call it.
I promise you, I wouldn't get bored.
Damn, come on, it was right there. And can't forget. Damn, come on, bro, it's really good.
My inability to speak English is contagious. I know.
Huh? There was a safe box here before. Now it despawns?
If somebody else took it, now you have to wait for it.
Right. Okay. There you go. The reason is why most Jedi died is because since they were in the middle of a battle and they were on the winning side, so they let their guard down, and they weren't fully connecting with their force because they were greedy and focused on winning.
Mhm.
So that's why most of them. That's what I'm thinking. That's why most of them did not expect the turnover. But the ones that felt it and tried to defend it. Wait a minute. You seen
Fallen Order?
You seen the Clone Wars, right?
Proxy. Fate has plucked you.
Like the final season of the Clone Wars?
Oh, the one that's only on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I only see clips of it. Really, only and I only see the part with Ahsoka and trying to keep Rex from shooting her. And that's about it.
Okay, so are you gonna watch it, or can I tell you something about
I
it?
I would like to watch it, but it's realistically by the time I can get it for free, I will have forgotten this conversation. So, go ahead. Spoilers for anybody who will be watching this in the future.
Okay, since you said you've seen clips, I'm gonna say this one specific part because there's a shit ton of clips about it. But it's basically when Ahsoka was still a Padawan, how Anakin taught her how to survive by running drills by making all the clones. She stands in the middle of all the clones, and all the clones open fire at her, but with stun blasters. And since it's not a droid that it's predictable, it's an actual person that has a mind of their own. It's unpredictable. So that's how, and she basically learned like that. So she was able to. That's how she was able to survive Order 66. Most of the Jedi didn't have that type of training because they're used to fighting only droids and not a free thinker.
I could see that. That's actually plausible. I thought about that, like thinking about it. You know, you have the droids. I don't know how they're programmed to shoot, but I'm pretty darn sure they don't shoot as rapidly as a clone who's definitely trying to kill somebody. And you have multiple clones shooting you at once. Someone's gonna be aiming low, someone's gonna be aiming high. You physically cannot block unless you're gonna miss one eventually.
Exactly.
But
that's
yeah.
why you seen on the screen where how Keanu Monday was blocking some of them, but the others were hitting because he's not used to that type of thing. And that would also honestly reflect on his form of lightsaber thing, because you know how Obi-Wan's master defense.
Yes.
Come, Shadow Slayer.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's a shame because, you know, when the Jedi, Palpatine knew what he was doing. I'll give him that. If we're to believe the way the Jedi and the Sith were during, you know, the times of Star Wars: The Old Republic, pretty damn well. If it were like that, for one thing, they wouldn't have clone troopers. But like that, damn, I know damn well all those Jedi may still have died, but they took more people with them.
Yeah. And I feel like there would have been more survivors. There would have been like more survivors, or more that went into hiding.
Also, if they were like that, if they had more if they had an actual standing army that didn't require the clone troopers, Order 66 would have been very messy if they had like mixed soldier units. Like, you remember the first Jedi in The Force Unleashed?
Master Coda?
Yeah, he had something against clones. It's described as they were not fit for battle. So he had his own militia to fight for him. And that's how... Could you picture that? A Republic army that had fucking both clones... and regular soldiers?
I mean, if it was like that, then they would like have. It would have been a civil war.
It would have been. It would have been a lot messier and a lot bloodier.
True.
Well, we say bloody like you actually see blood in Star Wars.
There actually is blood in Star Wars, but you just don't see it as often.
Yeah.
Because you know them blaster bolts, like they also cauterize your fucking wound.
Yes, they do.
But leave a gaping hole.
The same could be said about a lightsaber.
AKA excuse of too lazy to animate blood.
I mean, there's that. But I'm pretty sure if they had more blood in the original trilogy of Star Wars, it would have... What was the rating for the original trilogy of Star Wars?
Bro, the rating was like fucking... like T. Like, it was either T or PG-13 or some shit like that. But even though the amount of bodies, death, fucking decapitation that was in there...
Actually, no. I think in some of the older VCR... footage, there was actually, when Obi-Wan cut off the hand of that guy in the bar, there was actually blood on it.
But, yo, bro, I'm about to head out. I'll be back on there. I don't know if you still be on.
Depends on what you mean by be back later. Give me like a estimate in hours, dude.
Like 4 or 5, maybe 6.
There's a chance. I don't know. But since I started my treatment, dude, like fucking, I've been pushing it. I've been pushing it.
You've been getting your good sleep, right? You've been getting that good sleep.
I'm getting good sleep, and like even when I decide to stay up late and fucking. I get like I don't get the doctor recommended amount of sleep. I don't feel like I'm gonna knock out during the day. So yeah, it's not good for my health, but I've been pushing it more and more and staying up later.
Alright, okay, cool. But before I go, I just want to give you one. I just want to say one thing.
Please please don't let it destroy my channel. But yes, go ahead.
No, it's about Star Wars. I don't think Star Wars to destroy your channel.
Okay.
Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Palpatine. Darth Sidious.
It's the same fucking person, damn it.
Think about it. Do a game about Palpatine. Or a story, or Palpatine's story. How he was found by Plagueis.
That'd be cool.
How he was found by Plagueis. How he grew to hate the Sith.
It is good to
the Sith and the Jedi. The way he humiliates, I can't say that word, the H word. How he humiliates Jedi by treating their customs like thing and using their sacred thing for his lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like Palpatine is an entire tactician. He's a big tactician. So imagine a game about that, how he's just plotting, planning, scheming, getting people to do this, getting people to do that. Slowly branching out into every network.
Bro, you know what that kind of makes me feel like? They could have done that, like, a game where the gameplay is like Star Wars The Force Unleashed, but the fucking dialogue is like something out of The Walking Dead, like from the studio, the Telltale Walking Dead studio.
What, Telltale Star Wars game? That actually sounds nice.
With the gameplay from Force Unleashed.
Oh, wait, so graphics from Telltale's, but Force Unleashed gameplay?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, Force Unleashed gameplay is just you being stupid overpowered. Palpatine is stupid overpowered.
I can kick it.
But yeah, that's sort of like dialogue. I could see that with Palpatine. I mean, the Clone Wars was Palpatine playing chess against himself, for crying out loud.
Not really. Not really, because there were some spots where he was almost found out.
Yes. Fives, may he rest in peace, was this close to fucking saving the Jedi. Actually, thinking about it, Anakin ruined that too.
Okay, think about it. He had to throw off the Jedi Council, which I'm pretty sure wasn't an easy task, because they all use the Force. So you know how a Force wielder could feel another Force wielder. So he had to hide that he had the Force.
Yes.
And that he was using it to manipulate people.
Something
He couldn't act too fast, because then other people will realize. The way how he was slowly converting Anakin without him knowing, with how being low key about it.
Is it really at the top?
Yeah.
The way how he had to throw Yoda off, Grandmaster fucking Yoda.
The thing is, you're right. I don't get it. Like
and the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, because Qui-Gon was one of the most people connected to the Force, since he was also the first Force ghost. He would have.
Yeah.
The reason why Qui-Gon died was because Palpatine ordered him to die. Because if he didn't, Qui-Gon would have found out.
Honestly, no. What I understand, and this is from the way Qui-Gon got killed, his lightsaber style depends.
It's the same as Yoda's.
Is also the same as Kit Fisto's. His lightsaber style requires. He supposedly turns a lot of control over to the Force to dictate his movements, but it's very taxing on it. So if you can live long enough in the fight to wear him down, you can eventually trick him. That's why Maul did that shit where he clubbed him in the face and then stabbed him.
Is it safe? Is it easy to stumble off of these areas?
But yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like I honestly don't understand how the Jedi managed not to didn't see Palpatine for what he really was, how he was able to manipulate it. And I don't get how he just dampened, because in the first one it's when it's revealed that, or rather the Phantom Menace, the prequel movie, so we have to make that distinction now. They mentioned that their ability to use the Force had become weakened. They don't know why, or I mean they knew why, but they They
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, that because that was Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine.
He was already moving. He was already moving in the shadows. Two, before all the things happened, it was already a time of peace. So it was technically a golden age in the Star Wars universe. And you know how during the golden age, everything builds up, but combat skills diminish.
Because it's a very peaceful time.
Because it's a peaceful time, so no one really needs to be training and fighting.
At least, not. At least they train for it, but they don't build up that combat experience. I get what you mean. Yeah, no, it's actually mentioned. I remember reading. I was a nerd, sort of a Star Wars nerd, but I kept within the movies. I remember in the books, like for Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan, like, there's a part in the book where you're in Obi-Wan's thoughts, and he pieces together how Palpatine, got to where he was. He was the one who started the invasion of Naboo, so he can take the Chancellor's seat from the current Chancellor at the time. And then when his term was coming to an end, he started the Clone Wars to manipulate the Senate into giving him more power to finish the war. And he was the one who created the clone army. He's the one who put Count Dooku in the shoes of the Separatists, would start the Separatist movement with fake promises and lies. He is the one. Supposedly he was the. Was he the one who impregnated Anakin's mother with Anakin through the Force?
No, I'm pretty sure the Force. I think the Force. It was literally the Force.
But anyway,
Anakin was literally the chosen one. He was like sent down by the primordial Force gods. Like, you know how the daughter, the son, and the father, the Force god shits.
Oh yeah. From. I thought you had to go.
I do. I really do.
All right, man.
I really do. But I was waiting for you to finish what you were saying because I don't like leaving people dry like that.
Don't let me get you in trouble with your girlfriend again, dude. I'm assuming you're going to meet your girlfriend.
Yes. But yeah, seriously, they could do a whole bunch of things, bro. Like, first of all, like, uncancel the 2 or 3 Star Wars games that already got canceled. Like, bro, they were making the Darth Maul game, and then Star Wars, like 19 something.
I'll say this: anyone who actually watches this and sees this, put in the comments. Continue this conversation. Let's see your ideas.
And like, yo, bro, before I go, like, they could like really make a game about like a whole bunch of characters, like a whole bunch of characters that never really got the light of day. Like, like they could do General Grievous because they only explain his story through like comics and like side stuff of like how like of him being the people person he was to the freaking droid commander. Or they could do something which would be amazing, but Disney could actually fucking do what George Lucas wanted them to do.
The only thing, let's talk about this later before you are late for your date or something. It's getting late. I gotta go and take a shower myself. Twitch, and eventually YouTube, like I said. Continue this conversation in the comments. For the time being, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and tell your friends. This has been Alaway and Friends signing off.
Yep. But yo, either way, I catch you, bro.